pushed back to full forward. Lacroix's on the move. It's in front of Lacroix, just over his head. He got it. Darling launches. It drifted initially, but he gets it home.
Anyone could. I think it would be Sam Mitchell. He just pokes it out to Darling.
It's a clever kick, that, isn't it?
Up the wing. Darling in best position. And he's off. Wants to go. Cripps is out into space. He's quick. Webster trying to get back. Cripps marks.
Still outside 50, Jack Darling. Come at him. That's what he's calling for. That's what he gets. He's got to get there, though. Master's got to give it to him. He goes back to Darling. Now the left foot snap goes in towards Lacroix, and he takes the mark.
Kennedy made the contest, and that's all that mattered for Cripps. To the square. Big push from Darling, and it's ticked off by the umpire, and it's a goal. Marston, Darling's away. It was a perfect kick, wasn't it? And he's decided the handball. The fast leg's needed, and Cripps gets it going end on end.
At half forward, and he's got plenty of space, can turn and go. Kennedy leads into the pocket, the pass in his direction, and Kennedy's got it again. The clearance goes long towards Kennedy in the one-on-one. Jonas to spoil Darling. He just couldn't get the kick away in the end, but Josh Hill, who puts it on the boot in the Kennedy direction. Jonas, big spoil, knocked down. Darling gives to Lacroix, and Lacroix this time will snap his third of the quarter.
That's a big result for them.
West Coast just with a bit of momentum out of the break, and out the back, Jack Darling waiting down, and he'll help himself to the goal. They've got some men out as well. The kick from Mutimer wide for Darling. Has to just wait for it to sit. Opens it up. He's got two in the quarter. Somehow got his boot to the ball. Collision coming up Houston. He's tackled strongly by Darling.
Dalhouse tackled. Did he get rid of it? Said knocked out in the tackle, said the umpire. And Boyd, given the ball went so high in the air. Now the Eagles under pressure here. Well done. Darling, little right foot bender, got it. Great play, Eagles.
Good entries, just in case they don't capitalise.
Darling, second attempt. Eastonwood didn't get enough on it.
Now a chance for Hearn, centering ball. Vardy has kicked a goal already. Spears it in towards Darling, who plucks it with one hand. I was thinking more Byron Pickett.
He probably...
Good grab. Kelly is there as well. The two combine and continue to. Tucked in the pocket, Kelly. Now he's got a problem. He does get a kick, but...
And he decides to go wide. Whitfield was out there. He sat it in the air for a long, long time. Hill. Gaff. Darling. Good grab. Yo tried similar. Doesn't dance as well. Mumford dumped. Didn't have Pryor. Kennedy leads short. And again, they blast it long over Kennedy's head. Darling did well. Vardy and Petrie both there. And Mumford's fist. Darling knocked it on in the Cripps direction. It didn't sit for him. He had to go back. Curtis hits the hot spot to Darling. Got the free.
Yeah, paid the mark, I think, Brian.
Well, the goal won't be allowed. He missed Petrie straight through Davis. This'll work. Darling tried the knock on. Second time work. Mitchell hasn't kicked a goal for 2 years. Darling's free in space, and he's got it.
A bit more time than he thought. Michael Barlow should have converted there.
And now Darling can attack it well.
Petrie told to go. He's off the mark, so said, now you've committed, go. And Jack Darling ran magnificently into position.
There's been some criticism, a new one-year contract extension for Pritis. And what about that from Jack Darling? That might be one of the most acrobatic spoils we've ever seen.
The ones that need to strike first. Henderson to Dangerfield. Sensed the tackler was right on, and his senses were right.
It's a dangerous ball. There's Lewis. Forward for Viney. Now Vince. Now Hutchings. A high ball towards the wing. Darling off his chest. Second attempt, marks the ball. Can move it quickly. Now he's got a player who's off. Cripps is that man.
Darling in a one-on-one. He waits it for Darling. Morris gets back. Did he hold it long enough? Surely he did. Opens up the angle a little. That's a work of art. Would have been harder to get out of the way of it than mark it. He pokes it to McGovern. Got there. In the hands. Drives it long. Darling at the back. Cripps tucked into the pocket. Tough shot. Miracle shot. Only in your wildest dreams.
Sam Mitchell going in towards Darling at the back. Plays on. Here's another one. Carpenter has number 3.
The gaff again, short. Darling tried to step, got through the tackle, handed up, got an assist to Cripps. He's having some sort of game, Darling.
Shepherd got it out and gave the hand pass away. Dangerous signs ahead. Darling takes the mark.
And the defenders are getting lost, so they need to work out who that forward pushing up is and address that.
Darling did brilliantly there.
Hurried little kick Bounces through. That was by Redden in the square. Dangerous times for the Dogs now. Johannesson tries to pounce on it. Darling is there.
Petrie calling for it. He goes to Darling in the pocket.
You can see what they were trying to do.
The snap kick. Had some time and did not waste it. Missed his target. Pittard marks and takes off. Pollock's about to get caught. Just got a handball away in time. Yo backs out of trouble. Rolls it to Darling. He had it and lost it. Got it back again. Found some space. All part of his grand plan, that little fumble. Pokes it to the pocket. Darling backs back and he's got it. Looks all right. That's the West Coast Eagles pocket. Wide. Darling having some sort of afternoon. Gaff, Carpenter, Mitchell. Darling had to wait for the bounce. Little knock on Lacroix. Now Petrie's running back to the square. He got there, Drew Petrie.
And was ignored. He waited for Darling. He's got to contend with a couple. Oh, Darling, what a wonderful mark. Darling again against Logue. Got him underneath the ball. He takes the mark. He's on top of his game at the moment. Gives it over to Drew Petrie. Duggan's 10th kick up to the wing. Logue made the running. Darling had some really important touches in this quarter. It's a steady hand of Mitchell. Back to Redden. Darling flies again. He was brilliant. Off the left boot. Lacroix. Shorter than that, Darling.
Just going to kick it to the predictable spot here. My ball, Langdon. Darling just... Kennedy the danger. Goldsack sagging off his man. Howe there, Maynard as well. So they ganged up on Kennedy that time. Darling got it out to Cripps. Right foot snap. Plenty of ball. Bending got it. His second.
Shuey kicked a really important goal late. Sets one up potentially here. Darling, the defensive 50. A couple of one-on-ones converge, become a foursome.
But got it to Gaff. Advantage is paid. The kick from Gaff didn't hit the target on the full, but Darling can just sling it around his body and get the quick reply. Got in and under and got the handball out to Hutchings. Quick kick. Darling in best position again. Long up to half full. And Darling presenting again. And quickly onto the boot because Kennedy's out the back. That is great movement. He almost...
Well, the chase is on and it's 3 versus 1. Surely the numbers will prevail. And Mark Lacroix is on the end of it. And he can stride with delight into goal. They'll get their chance. High ball. Darling.
The difference between a victory and defeat. A skimming ball right through the pack. Kennedy able to gather. Feed it across to Darling. Darling will snap and kick another. A couple of quick ones for the Eagles. And they find some breathing space.
Just because it's in motion.
Darling takes the mark for Kennedy. No whistle. Darling next to enter the fray. He had Lacroix ready and waiting for more glory. Still a man down, Adelaide. Deep kick. Darling came hard.
That's good recovery from Darling. He was in the tackle.
Flicks it over the top and they run in. Another goal. Fans right now. The Eagles have come with tremendous purpose today. And that continues. A lovely mark to Darling. Oh, Darling! Darling, it hurts, but it doesn't. Not when you take a mark like that.
Cuts it out wide and marked on the line by Darling. So he's shaping up for the left foot snap. Bends it round and he kicks the first goal here at the Adelaide Oval. Gaff drives him forward again. Darling trying to get a run at it. Did well to bring it to ground. Pittard tackled well by Hutchings. Oh, pirouetting out was Darling to Mitchell. His 25th final. Back to Jack Darling. Can he kick the first 2 goals in the final? He can, Jack Darling.
All Australian ruckman. Here's Prittis. Another disposal. High ball. Back towards Darling. Unloaded as he kicked the ball. Good contest from Darling. He was caught behind. Tough one for Houston. Wrapped up.
If you get your decision-making right.
Out the back, Darling. If it sits, he's got a goal. Athletic attempt. And he finds a late one. His first goal of the night, Jack Darling.